Once upon a time, there was a war happening in Greece. It's called the Trojan War. And this guy, the king of Ithaca, named Odysseus, was in the war. And he gave the Trojans a horse and fought them with 600 men. And then in that fight, he had a vision of what is to come. Anyway, it was Zeus telling him he had to kill someone's son. So he's like, yeah, bet I'll do it. But it was to throw a baby off a tower. It was not a full-grown son, it was a child. So Odysseus is like, well, I don't think that's a good idea. But he does it, and he throws the baby off a tower. And then he and his 600 men are traveling back to Ithaca when they run out of food. So he's like, oh, let's look at the birds. And then he and his buddy Polites go to an island to look for food. But they were sent by little creatures to another island, a scary island. And they go to the scary island and they kill a sheep, which is bad. Because the being on this island, aka Polyphemus, the Cyclops, is not very happy about this. And he's like, I'm going to kill all of you because you killed my favorite sheep. And so Odysseus is like, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Here, have some of our wine to compensate for it. And then he kills a lot of people. He kills about 12 people, including Polites. We love Polites. This world is amazing when you greet it with open arms. So to destroy Polyphemus, they blind him. And then, as they leave, Odysseus is like, oh, by the way, here's my full legal name, my credit card information, my social security number, and my exact address. So, they had planned to kill Polyphemus entirely. And so, the goddess Athena, who was with Odysseus, is like, dude, you're stupid. You're actually stupid. But, so she left. She was very pissed about that. She left him, even though she was his mentor for a very long time. So, everyone's sailing around. Not all 600 men. But all of a sudden they come across a floating island where the god Aeolus is. And so Odysseus is like, yo, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to ask Aeolus to help us get home. And so Aeolus gives Odysseus a wind bag, a bag full of wind. It's like, don't open it. If you open it, you won't get home. And so when Odysseus gets back on the island, the boat, everyone's like, oh, what's in the bag? Oh, and everyone is crazy and assumes that it's treasure. So Odysseus has to stay awake until they get home. Otherwise, someone's going to open the bag. But he fell asleep, and someone opened the bag. So, all of a sudden, the god Poseidon comes from the ocean. And he's like, yo, you're stupid. You're really stupid. You were told to do one thing, and you couldn't follow that. So, he drowns, 500 of the people. Because there's 43 men left. Okay, and then all of a sudden, they get blown off to this island where there's this beautiful goddess named Circe, who turns some of Odysseus' men into pigs. And so Odysseus was going to go fight Circe, but is like, I don't know how. So Hermes, my darling Hermes, he comes and gives Odysseus, a root called Holy Moly. Wouldn't you like a taste of the power? Wouldn't you like to use more than words? If you eat the root, you'll have powers to beat her. So he does, and he almost beats Circe, but in the end, Circe gives them a route to the underworld, where they can meet this prophet who can give him a prophecy and tell him if he gets home or not. And so they go to the underworld. Odysseus sees that his mom is dead, and he's very sad. And they get the prophecy. I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. It's great. So, yeah. And after that, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die and someone's gonna end up with my wife. And so, Odysseus is like, am I the problem? And it's been, by the way, the Trojan War was 10 years and it's been 2 years. So it's been 12 years, theoretically. Okay, so they leave the underworld and they run into a ship with no crew. And so they fill their ears with beeswax, and all of a sudden, don't you miss me? It was sirens. Oh, how bad the sirens. So Odysseus is like, oh, I'm gonna play along to find out how to get past, we need to get past Poseidon to get home. But Poseidon is like, no, bad. And so, the sirens say you have to go through the layer of Scylla. And then they shoot the sirens. It's great. And then they go to Scylla, but Scylla requires a 6-person sacrifice. And so 6 people were sacrificed. And so, Odysseus' other buddy, Eurylochus, is like, that was not good, okay? There's so many people that have died, and you just let 6 other people die. Hello? And so, Eurylochus stabs Odysseus and puts him on a little island. Of course, it's not the island they're going to, but they put him on a little island. The sun god's island. And they're like, okay, I'm so hungry, I'm gonna kill one of the sun god's cows. And so they do, while Odysseus is tied up, wounded. But then Zeus comes down and is like, that was stupid, Eurylochus. You're stupid. I hate Eurylochus. Eurylochus sucks. But he has a beautiful singing voice. But Zeus comes down and is like, you're stupid. Why would you do that? Now Odysseus must choose between his own life or his crew's. And of course, Odysseus is the one who chooses to live. But he is stuck on an island with the beautiful goddess Calypso. Now, back in Ithaca, Odysseus has a son named Telemachus, and he's like, I wanna be legendary. But there's this guy named Antinous, and he's like, oh, you're so weak and pathetic. It's like, I'm gonna marry your mother, and then I'm gonna be the king of Ithaca. And so they fight, and then Athena, if you remember Athena, she had been with Odysseus and his mentor. But then Athena becomes Telemachus' mentor. So that's great. And then 7 years go by, and we're with Odysseus again. And he's like, I can't do this anymore, please, Athena. Because Calypso is like, oh, please, be with me. But he's like, no, I have to stay loyal to my wife. And so Athena begs the gods for his freedom. He begs Zeus. She begs Zeus and a whole lot of others. It's great. So he's free. It works. It's great. So then all of a sudden, Odysseus is free. He makes a little raft and he has to go. But he's like, this is a tiny little raft. Like, I'm not going to get very far with this. And so our boy Hermes, our darling, he's like, here's a windbag. Me and my buddies, we collected this for you. If you open that, you're stupid. We already made this, but you're stupid. And so he goes, and Odysseus fights a monster, and he's right there. He can see his home island. He can see his castle, and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm home. But then Poseidon is like, ha 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 ha. So you realize that Cyclops you made blind all the way back at the beginning, that's my son. If you killed him, you'd be fine. But you're stupid, and you didn't kill him, so you're not fine. So Poseidon's like, I'm gonna kill you. And he nearly does. But then Odysseus has all 600 men, including his mother, all come and help him. And all the ghosts strike Poseidon and bring him down. So then Odysseus can stab Poseidon with his trident like 1,000,000,000 times because he can't die, and it hurts him though. So he's, how will you sleep at night? Next to my wife. And so the storm is off. Yeah. The storm is off because he opened the windbag. As the ghost opened the windbag for him. It's great. So back in Ithaca, aka his kingdom, his wife Penelope is like, it's been 20 years. Oh no, it's been 20 years. And I don't want to choose a new husband, but I kind of have to. And so it's like, whoever can strength my husband's old bow and shoot through 12 axes cleanly will be the new king, sit down at the throne and rule with me as his queen. It's great. So, now Antinius is like, okay, I can't string this bow and I can't shoot through these 12 axes. Let's kill the prince, and kidnap the queen. Okay, there we go. Screw legendary Telemachus and the beautiful queen Penelope. And it's like, haha, I got this. Hold him down. Like, yeah. But Odysseus made it home. So he's like, oh, so that's what was happening. And he kills all of them. He kills Antinius and all of his friends. There's a lot of them. He kills all of them with arrows and stuff. Because he's really good at that. And then he's reunited with Telemachus, the legendary boy. It's great. And then he reunites with Penelope, who's like, I really hope that's you, but I can't tell. Can you move this bed? And he's like, I can't move the bed. Why? How could I move the bed? It's a bed. And she's like, well, you're my husband. And then it's this really happy, I love you. It's great. It's so beautiful. Yeah. And they all live happily ever after, except the 600 men. The end.